Welcome to this e-learning video on the topic of African socialism. African socialism is a political ideology that has been influential in many African countries, particularly in the post-colonial period. It is a distinct form of socialism that has evolved in response to the specific historical, cultural, and economic conditions of the African continent. African socialism is based on the idea that the state should play a central role in the development and management of the economy, with a focus on improving the lives of the poor and marginalized. It emphasizes the importance of collective ownership and control over resources, and often incorporates traditional African values and ideas about community and cooperation. African socialism has been influential in a number of African countries, including Ghana, Tanzania, and Senegal. In these countries, socialist-oriented governments have implemented a range of policies, including land reform, industrialization, and the nationalization of key industries. African socialism has also been controversial, with some critics arguing that it has led to economic stagnation and has suppressed individual freedoms. Others have argued that it has been successful in promoting economic development and reducing poverty in some countries. Overall, African socialism remains an important and debated ideology in Africa and has had a significant impact on the continent's political and economic development.
Magunia kati ya 1000 ya ngano ilikuwa navunwa, kati ya 11,000 mpaka 14,000 magunia ya ngano ilikuwa navunwa. Mazao mengi sana.
Hilo lilifanywa na lilikuwa linawapendeza watu, walikuwa wanafurahia, wanaoelewa, walikuwa wanamiminika kuzidi kujaa.
Kitu inayokufa kule wanakuja wana sabotage, wanachukua spare.
Kijiji kilianzwa kwa sababu ya hotuba za Mheshimiwa Rais Nyerere. Alitaka nchi ya kijamaa, vijana wote wakusanyike wakae pamoja.
Baadaye mwaka wa 1963 wazazi wangu walihamia kwenye kijiji hiki cha hapa Kitete. Ilianzishwa na serikali kama makazi mapya.
Kwanza yenyewe ni kilimo, watu wanalima wanapata chakula. Sasa kitu hichi ni lazima kiwe sasa kwa utaratibu.
Unajua tena watu wakikaa pamoja, kuna mambo mbalimbali wanahitaji, social services. Kwa mfano lazima wahitaji shule, wahitaji zahanati, wahitaji maji.
Katika uongozi wake, nafikiri alikuwa na watu kidogo sana wenzake ambao walikuwa wanaamini kwamba sera ile ya ujamaa na kujitegemea ni nzuri kwa taifa.
Sasa ile ndio imekuja kuvuruga hii system ya hapa Kitete. Kijiji kimeendelea kuwa katika hali nzuri mpaka niseme mwaka wa 74.
69 Oktoba 27 ndipo ndege ilitoka, tuseme taarifa ya habari ilitolewa kutoka Dar es Salaam kwamba RDA it is finished since today.
Yaani wale wamejuta kuletwa hapa na kuambia. Hamna cha maana sana, watu wanaishi tu.
Wakati ule kulikuwa kuna mwamko mkubwa zaidi kuhusu sera ya ujamaa na kujitegemea. Wakati huu ni kama imekwisha, ni kama haipo.
Jina la 5 limewaita. Jina la 5 limewaita. Wote njoni kwangu.
The word Ubuntu seems to have some mysterious origins. Some say it's a Xhosa word, some say it's just a word from a Southern African Nguni language. But the concept of it is definitely one that is shared among all the different ethnic groups that comprise South Africa.
Ubuntu is something when you've got a heart of a person. At times people may always define Ubuntu differently. You cannot be a person without other people, so you need people. Secondly, Ubuntu must be in you. There is a say that when an African child smiles, he smiles from the bottom of his heart. To show Ubuntu, that is got love of that person that he sees or that he is greeting. I won't be afraid to say that at times you find that our people are getting lost. We have such a unique tradition. And if you remember when Mandela was jailed in 1962, when he went to court, what he was wearing a blanket. This blanket, it has to do with the ancestors, we call it Ingawe. Our fathers, they will sit around the crowd looking at the cows and cattle, wearing that blanket. So whenever you are going to do something, there is a traditional costume that you wear.
Well, I think the concept of Ubuntu is the principle of humanity beyond borders. For me, the most wonderful music comes out of the traditional music. And at an early age, I realized this wonderful complexity of the traditional music. And it's not as simple as it is said to be. So it opened the self-investigation, you know, of ourselves as personally and also of our communities and of the nation. What is it that we have inherently there, besides the gold and the diamonds and the uranium, in terms of our culture?